It's funny. This is both like the biggest hybrid on the market and one of the very best selling. This is a 233S Rockwood Roo here at Haylet RV of Coldwater, Michigan. It's a pretty cool triple tip-out hybrid with a full-depth dinette slide, not like a shallow slide, but a full slide. From the _1 producer of hybrids on the market, being presented here at Haylet RV, the largest independent standalone dealer in our state. If you would like to see if we have this in stock, how we have it equipped, because the one we have in stock might not be this one, probably isn't going to be with the number of these that we sell. And we do clearly publish our pricing free of those pesky hidden fees such as prep fees, destination charges, inspection fees, whatever that means. So if you'd like to see what we have and what we're asking, visit the link down here in the video description that says check for price and availability. You're one click away from seeing what hybrids we have and all that good stuff. So why is this one so popular? Why is Rockwood so popular? That's what I want to focus on, because it's a bunch of little things. It's a combination of a lot of small detail things. Let me back up a step. Let's just talk about how she's built real quick. And if you just want to see the interior, then just skip ahead in the video. If you don't like my voice, then hit the mute button. You have control over that. The whole thing is aluminum framed. Actually, even if you lift up the seating and the dinette, even that is aluminum skeletoned. They do a lot of aluminum work here at Rockwood. The floor is the only thing in this that is not laminated. The walls, the front wall, the roof even, they're all laminated. That roof is like a no-flex walk-on great roof. Actually, if you visit our picture tour, you'll see a picture of me standing on one, because it does not flex. The floor is still fully aluminum framed and studded. It just has a 5/8 tongue and groove plywood floor deck, because that's basically the strongest way you can build a floor. This has the exact same floor as a 15,000-pound luxury fifth wheel. Here in a 4,835-pound ultralight little easy towing hybrid. That's the level of construction you're looking at here. Rockwoods are, I generally relate Rockwood to retirement grade. When people are looking for the last one ever, Rockwood should be one of the first things on the list if you're looking for a smaller, lighter weight trailer. We'll come back around to the side. Let me just start sweeping around here. So, the bed ends, you'll notice, are all, you don't have to like deal with any of the Velcro of the old style hybrids. Rockwood's been doing this for years. It's all C-channeled in place, so that this bed end stuff isn't going anywhere. 5-year guarantee on this stuff, by the way. And also, you've got the easy reach hybrid handles, so you don't have to reach all the way up here to get to these things. It's right down here, and this key is the same as your baggage door key, so you don't need just a whole ton of keys floating around. There are narrow body hybrids out there now. This is not one of those. This is a normal standard body, 8 foot wide. The Roo and the Rockwood Mini are basically the same camper with only 2 differences. The Roo has 20-pound tanks because 30-pound tanks would be too high. That hybrid bed would crush them. And the Minis have an enclosed underbelly that the Roo standard does not. Now, if you look up top, you see that little shark fin up there. That's because the Rockwood Roo series gives you 2 of those full-size max air vent fans, one in the living room, one in the bathroom. And wherever you get the bigger vent fan in a Rockwood, you also get the roof vent cover. Now you can add that cover aftermarket if you want. We've got our huge parts and service center back there. We do all that stuff. But Rockwood does it here at a factory level, at a larger volume buying power, so you're getting more parts for less money in the wash. Plus, now they built it, so it's part of their warranty, and they guarantee it. I like that. I like when a factory backs their product rather than needing to guess who's going to back it. Now, even your slide walls are laminated, so it's not just side walls, it's not just front wall. Remember, it's roof, it's everything but the floor in this are laminated, and that floor is way overbuilt. But it's great that it's overbuilt. It's for longevity. So your slide side windows open for ventilation. First of all, it actually has slide side windows because a lot of RVs don't. And secondly, they do slide open for ventilation. Now your sidewall windows with this equipment bundle we have here are frameless. That means that the seal is protected away from extra sun UV exposure, and it's protected a little bit from the weather. These do tilt open so you can get some rainy day airflow as well. Now this is a very Forest River thing. It's not that they are the only ones that do it, it's just they're the only ones that do it with frequency, and that is put slide out access on the back side of a slide out. or storage access on the back side of Slido. So this is a U-dinette, and you do have storage access doors. If I peek up in here, you can see that. But you can also get to the back side of the bench from the outside. Now, hybrids don't have a full-time fixed bed to hide things under. Like you see those big pass-through storage compartments in a lot of campers, that's usually under a bed. Well, the beds hang out over nothing here. So they had to come up with different creative ways to do that. So on the other side of the camper, you saw a door like this. That was storage under the sofa. Here we have storage under the dinette. And as we go around the back, you'll actually see a storage pocket right here that actually sort of hides under a bench inside. Before I get too far along, I do want to point out the very different torsion suspension there we go, system. So a lot of campers have a torsion axle. That's not what I'm talking about. This is a torsion suspension. It's a rubber shock dampening suspension. Each wheel moves independently. You can see that there's no chuck holding them in between. There's no leaf spring. This is, I do believe, and service records are showing this has got to be the best suspension on the market. Case in point, my friends, if you want to know how good this is, because it's about $500 more per axle. They could save a lot of money by going to leaf springs, but that's not what Rockwood is. This is not a price-sensitive ultralight. This is the highest amenity level hybrid on the market. This is the hybrid that does all the things. They're not as worried about price tag here. I can find you a lesser expensive hybrid, for sure, but I can't find you another one that has this level of equipment. So to give you an idea of how the grade of suspension you're looking at here, Rockwood doesn't use Airstream's suspension. Airstream uses Rockwood's suspension. Airstream used to have a different suspension system. They adopted Rockwood's. How cool is that? Outside utility shower back here next to your hookups, and your hookups are essentially all right in this back corner, like your water, your power, all that. It makes sense because this is where your post and everything's going to be. Now, you don't, depending on your family, you don't always have to use all three of these beds. And that's kind of what I like about this floor plan. First of all, it has like a cool little rocket ship sort of look to it standing here. But secondly, you can expand it or shrink it to your needs. That's really what I like about it. It's very simple and easy. It took me maybe 1 minute per bed to set this up. If folks, you've had a pop-up camper in the past, you're going to feel like you're cheating the first time you set up a hybrid, and that's just a fact. And that's really the number one buyer of a hybrid camper are folks who are just tired of a hybrid or a pop-up. This is backup camera ready. You can get a backup camera straight from the factory, but what we've found with our experience here in our parts center with the volume of parts that we can purchase too, is that we can get you the exact same camera for the exact same money installed at our shop as we could get it from the factory. So we let you sort of pick your own destiny there. You don't have to, we're not going to charge some people who don't care money for people that do, you know. We let you sort of pick your poison. By the way, the price tags you see on our website, not only are they free of hidden fees, but we also don't charge extra for like propane and battery, and we show you how it works and we clean it. Our pricing includes everything the camper needs, and then some. You know, we do everything a dealer should without you even having to ask. And I point that out because that's not industry standard practice. Now, take a gander at the awning on this. They couldn't have put a much bigger awning on it. It goes way up to the front of the trailer and almost to the back right here. And it covers, obviously, your entry door with that bigger handle, which makes it easy to get in and out of, but also your outside entertainment and grilling station. Now, we have included the RVQ grill, but this is a new RV that literally just got off the truck here, so we haven't even opened that box, and we haven't gone through our quality checks and stuff. We do all that before it even goes out for sale. But I skip out here and I do my video footage before that. So your interior TV that comes standard with the camper, the whole swing arm and everything, dismounts and remounts outside so that you can have an awesome little outdoor camping, grilling, tailgate, living, party experience. Your grill mounts on this rail right here, and by the way, they don't produce enough heat to cause any problems with anything. The grill, another thing I like with this side mount system here is that the propane connection is in this protected little enclosure. Look around at a lot of campers. When you see that propane hookup, I swear, it's almost always like right behind a tire. Do you know how much dirt and debris and stones and gunk is going to get flung off this tire and just pelting that? This is a way better, longer lasting protected system. Little black tank flush over here. Some people ask, well, why is the black tank flush here? Well, the bathroom is located right here. And it's not like you have to have a hose hooked up to your black tank flush all the time. So this is the most direct route to get the best pressure and best service to that black tank flusher. I mean, do you want it in a better location or do you want it to work? Now, obviously you'd like both, but if you had to settle for one or the other, it has to work first. And it does that right here. Dexter axles on these two, which is another thing I like to point out. Once in my entire career, we had a bad Dexter axle. That's pretty good stats. More people get struck by lightning, I think, than bad Dexter axles are built. So that's got to be worth something right there. Entry door. This is a friction hinged door. So when the kids open the door and they just fling it, it catches itself. You see how it caught right there? It didn't smash into anything. Oh, by the way, this is new. I'm not going to get too invested into this because some people care, some don't. But this has the new Wi-Fi Ranger system. If you're curious about that, they tell you right here, go to WiFiRanger.com. They have a handy little video. It explains it perfectly clearly. Long story short, it's a little thing that can basically marry up like mobile networks and park Wi-Fi and stuff like that. So you get a better data experience for your mobile devices at your campsite. Now notice as I'm flickering these lights, hopefully no one is epileptic, but you see that your main cabin lights are all in one handy switch. That's not normal in hybrids. In smaller, lighter weight, more price-sensitive trailers, you don't get that. By the way, this is at the time of this filming, this is brand new decor. This is actually what you would call an updated 18. This is not a late generation 17 or early generation 18, which are the same. You can tell because we got the new fabrics. The skin on the outside was just a shade darker than last year. I should have mentioned that. They've updated the decals a little bit. So at the time of this filming, this is the newest cutting edge updated version of what Rockwood's going to look like. Now, remember how I said the one in this video might not be the one we have in stock. This is one fabric decor. This kind of replaced Winston for those who've been shopping, by the way. It's very close, so you know, if you liked one, you're going to like the other. They have different wood tones available at Rockwood. This is maple. There's also a darker driftwood, and when you upgrade to maple, there's a slight charge for it because you do get true maple hardwood cabinet doors. But man, the look, the life, the feel of the cabinetry, and especially when lights hit it, it's so beautiful. Now, we almost always put the plank print flooring in here, but there's also a stone print floor. So, again, the one that I have in stock, it could be equipped just like this and look drastically cosmetically different. Rockwood offers more interior decor combinations than anybody on the market, period. Okay, so right here, we've got our full-depth U-dinette. That folds down into like a 7-foot sleeper. And did you remember when I stuck the camera in the backside of that U-dinette from the outside? Did you notice that was all aluminum skeleton? I wasn't joking about that. Now, over here, they give you an easy access drawer, and Rockwood's just come with a plethora of things. Like, it comes with your bunk and fan lights. It comes with this giant, you can fend off an intruder, Forest River emblazoned, it's called Sportula. Because, you know, spatula, sports, somebody thought that they were a marketing genius when they put that together. Table. It's free floating. It's elliptical base. It can fold down, obviously, to form the base of the dinette bed. You can pull it out here to sort of be like an island serving station. You can fold it down and use it like a coffee table. You can take it outside and use it like a picnic table. It only does everything. Kind of like this roux. Okay, let's talk about this. So you've got nice storage up front here. They didn't waste anything. And this handy little stand right here, it's ideal for like alarm clocks and stuff. And some of these front pockets here, they're not going to look like the biggest thing in the world, but there's no such thing as too much storage. And why waste an ounce when every ounce counts, you know? All your cabinetry is pocket screwed. All your cabinet doors are all hardwood, and if you're worried about me banging on something, you need to worry about the campers I don't bang on, because I can't hurt this if I tried. Reach back in here and you can feel the pocket screws instead of staples or glue. They're Rockwoods are screwed, not tattooed. The beds, they're all heated. All of the hybrid beds, standard in a Rockwood, are better than the upgrade beds of most hybrids. You've got your handy little heating element here. You can crank the heat up and down, and it just plugs right in there, and then there's always power outlets right around the beds to plug those into. This is another extra thing Rockwood does because storage is so valuable. They include these handy little overhead cargo nets. Now, please don't look at that and say, oh, it's a baby hammock. I heard somebody say that when these things first came out, and I really fear for that child's safety. Not at all what it's intended for. I'm not worried about weight capacity or anything. It's just not a smart thing to do. I don't think you should be putting a baby up there, okay? Just please. Now, these cables right here make this, it's aircraft grade cable. Basically, this bed has something like it's like a nearly 1,100, like I think it's 1,050 pound rating. It's wickedly overbuilt so that if the kids are jacked up on marshmallows and Mountain Dew and they're just, well, they can bounce up and down on here all they want and they're not going to break it. So, I mentioned outside when I was talking about the roof vent covers, Rockwood uses the bigger fans. Even in a hybrid camper, you're getting bigger fans and better airflow. That's what these guys do. Everything is a step above. You'll notice it's actually a 4-speed fan, and you know, you can kind of just sort of customize it to your own wants and needs. Now, the TV that was outside would normally mount right there. When it recesses into that pocket, the slide can come in and out unobstructed. This is all-in-one AM, FM, CD, DVD, Bluetooth. It's even got front-facing high-def inputs if you want to add devices, as well as a USB plug there, which can charge phones, but there's enough residential outlets around here that you're going to find a place to charge a phone, no problem. Now, one of the things I actually get to kind of help personally equip the Rockwoods, and one of the things that I like to do on these, and nothing's ever definitive, but I like to build them without an oven. I don't believe the majority of people, well, I don't need to believe it, I know for a fact the majority of people, maybe 1 out of 10, ever use an oven. And if you're the one that does, great, not a problem. If you like everything as camper but you want an oven, I'll build you one with an oven. I don't care. Just because it's not what we have doesn't mean we can't get it. But storage is at such a premium. So what you get instead of an oven is this extra chunk of big open storage right here. And tell me that's not way more valuable than a tiny little bread box that you're never going to use. Because that's what your oven's going to end up being, is a bread box, 9 times out of 10. Now, while we have this open, I want to point out, you know, these are little differences I've learned to look at here at Haylett RV. We carry a ton of different brands, and they're all cool for different reasons. But better materials, longer lasting, more equipment, that's the Rockwood definition and advantage here. Kind of along that token, they have standard solid surface countertops in a hybrid. Who else is doing that? These guys, that's who. So because this is solid surface, it's waterproof. That allowed them to recess the sink. That allowed them to recess the stove. Now because the stove is recessed, they can put a nice flat mount cover on there. And suddenly, voila, we have countertop and prep space that this camper otherwise never would have had. If that wasn't recessed and flush the way it is, you'd never have any prep space in here. Don't get me wrong, this doesn't have the prep space of a 35-foot rear kitchen fifth wheel, but you're not buying a rear kitchen 35-foot fifth wheel. You're buying a 23-foot, 4,800-pound hybrid ultralight camper, and this is enough to get you through the weekend, and that's the goal of this camper. Oh, by the way, crazy thing they do here. 23-foot, open concept, one-room hybrid, and we have central air conditioning with double ducting? That's just awesome. Like, you can see the twin vents up here, and they run the whole length of the coach. They really don't need to do that. But Rockwood builds everything the same way. The construction of this RV, the physical shell, is identical in material and methodology to the biggest, baddest fifth wheel Rockwood makes. They build one coach one way. They just build it bigger or smaller. That's it. That's the coolest thing about these. That's where they get how they can have such big sales numbers while maintaining a way above average quality control and consistency factor, because they build everything the same way every time. Floor to ceiling pantry, you've got extra drawer space and everything below the kitchen. It's not a big kitchen, but they really packed a lot in here. And within an arm's length away, we've got our easy open, you know, arthritic, hand-friendly refrigerator here. Let's look here. This is, I guess you'd call it bed number 3 compared to most things, even though it's the second one we've encountered. Again, they didn't waste anything. Under all 3 of the beds, the front side, they have these little benches that they utilized every square inch of it. All the beds are going to have those little, not a baby hammock storage cargo nets, and they're adjustable, by the way. So like, I left this one dangling down. I cranked that one up really high, so you can see that you can sort of you can fit them to your needs. I think we already talked about this pretty good. Just to give you a quick peek at the back bed, I don't think we need to get too far into that. It's funny, because Mom and Dad usually seem to want to take the front bed, even though the back one back here offers the greatest privacy. Just like the living room, Rockwoods come with that bigger fan here in the bathroom, and look at that. A hybrid with a dedicated bathroom linen cabinet, and a legitimate one you can actually get towels in. You don't have to do the burrito method where you roll them up and stack them, you know. We've got a full-on true glass enclosed radius shower with skylight above. You don't get stuff like this in most hybrids. This is not most hybrids though. User-friendly foot flush stool, plenty of leg room, and a big sink that adults can get their hands into. It's not a small counter, it's an oversized sink. And a real medicine cabinet, not just a mirror. They do everything here. They do everything above and beyond. Oh, by the way, this laminated roof I've talked about a few times. It actually has a 2.5-inch arch. It's got a slight vault to it, so that it does feel more open and airy and comfortable in here. Woo! That was a 21-minute grudge match on a little hybrid. That's how much there is to talk about these guys, and frankly, I haven't hit all the high points. There's still more to talk about. So, if you like what you see here, you like the information you've been provided, you like that we go out of our way to give you easily accessible, obvious pricing, you know, no hidden fees. If you like simpler and more transparent purchases, if you're looking for a place that can do it all, trades and everything, one spot, you found it. Congratulations. So give us a call, 800-256-5196. Haylet RV of Coldwater, Michigan. Take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.